So we're back, everybody. I'm glad everyone's back. Hey, what is going on? What is up? It is
What's up,
me and
guys?
Stomp a Little on Beyond the Meta, and we have a special guest, Mr. Kienan Lafferty, the creator. Be sure to correct me on this. The creator of the Lulu splash art. Am I right?
Yes, that would be correct.
Okay, good. All right, so there's a lot of stuff we've got going down today. For the next, hour or so, we're going to be talking about, with Keenan, we're going to be talking about his stuff he's been doing, working at Riot. For all of you people out there who want to work at Riot, here's your opportunity to get a little glimpse into what it takes to be a Rioter. Obviously, me and Stompolito are also here. We're going to be talking about your classic League-related things after Keenan leaves. And Battle Bunny Ribbon. That's right. He also created Battle Bunny Ribbon, which is, an amazing skin. So
Sex.
yeah, sex. Yes.
Yeah, that one was quite a bit of fun, actually.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Mr. Keenan, tell us a little bit about how you got into art in the first place.
All right, well, that could be a very long story, but I'll shorten it down for we'll just get the good bits in
Okay,
there.
cool.
But I wanted to get into art specifically in video games since I saw the work of Samwise Didier at Blizzard. He worked on StarCraft and Warcraft, and he's still over there. He's the art director. After I saw his work, I knew that I wanted to move into video games, and ever since then, I just love drawing fan art. I love doing fan art of just anything, cartoons, video games, and all that stuff. And probably a couple of years ago, I think it was a couple of years ago, my friend introduced me to League of Legends, and I was thinking that 2D artwork was basically going down the drain. I was like, everything's 3D now. I got to learn 3D animation and all that stuff. And I saw the splash art for League of Legends. I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is awesome. Like these paintings of these characters, they're like traditional. Well, they're digital, but it's not just like a 3D model. So I decided I wanted to try to go for that. And well, we can get more into that as we go forward, but just basically getting into art was just seeing the stuff from Blizzard.
Cool.
Really like that.
That's awesome.
So what games did you personally play? Like for me, whenever I started gaming, I played Diablo. Like I love Diablo. I've even debated getting a Diablo themed if I ever take that route, just because I love the art and just the gritty. Did you play Diablo? Did you play Warcraft, StarCraft?
Yeah, I played a lot of StarCraft. I didn't play much Diablo, but one of the games that I really think of is Earthworm Jim and Sonic 2 from Sega Genesis.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw the animation of that. I was like, this game is so cool. Like, I love the artwork of this. So
I played the Earthworm Jim, but I don't know the Sonic I was obsessed with as a child and growing up. I love Sonic.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I tend to take games into two different categories. The ones that have the amazing art style that are just, animations are fluid, everything is amazing. It may not necessarily be a high budgeted game, but you can tell that they paid attention to detail. And then you've got your Call of Duties by your big budget studios, like EA and all of them. And it's like I don't know. I tend to like the artsy games. But at the same time I still like Call of Duty. I'm still, I'm guilty of buying into the Call of Duty franchise.
Yeah, you can always get into that stuff.
I kind of have a personal question, just from my past experience as trying to draw, and I took art classes and stuff in school, and I always wanted to draw. Like it was something that I always thought was an amazing thing and a way to express yourself. And I kind of got baited by my art teacher, honestly, because I did a water painting and I got an A+ on it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm an artist. I'm the shit." And I couldn't draw anything after that. I was like, "Man, why can't I just draw a frog and everything else sucks?" I don't know what's wrong. But do you feel that there's some kind of ability that you are just like LeBron James is LeBron James because he's just born that way? Do you feel like
Yes,
you were born with just
his
the
name
talent?
was LeBron when his parents when he was born. He was named LeBron.
He's born with basketball in hand.
You know what I'm saying though.
But,
Just like me, I was born Batman. Keenan was born LeBron James, and Stomp a Little.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because that's kind of something. Because I do a show for artists on YouTube, and I like to do tutorials and stuff. Thing that gets thrown around a lot is people kind of dismiss wanting to pursue art because look at people working professionally or whatever and they say, oh, you were just born with that talent or you were just given this thing and I didn't get that, like as if they were just passing it out and they just skipped over them. I personally don't like that because it's not something that's just given to you. It's something that you worked your entire life for.
Right.
And that may come across as negative, but it's also very positive because it's like, no, like you can get the same skill that I have. You just have to put the time in.
Right.
And so, yeah.
I mean, it's like anything.
Not something you're born with.
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Even, I mean, honestly, yeah, LeBron James was not a baller. Like, as soon as he comes out of the womb, he wasn't shooting three-pointers. He wasn't, like, dunking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, like anything. Professional anything takes time. Like, professional artists, professional sports, professional gaming, you're not just good. You gotta put in effort.
The only thing I will say that may be different from people that do this stuff professionally and those who just kind of excuse themselves is that I think the people that really get it, they have that interest at the beginning, but where others are like, maybe they just kind of put it off, I'll get to it eventually. Those people just become those people that could have been. Whereas the people that just trust in that and say, yeah, you know what, I really want to do this, and they just make it work, those are the people that become, the real superstars.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The people that will find a way no matter what the obstacle in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody has the interest, but you gotta take action on that. So.
Yeah, like me too. I've definitely watched a lot of your videos in the past because I think I went through this thing where I'm kind of still going through this thing where I'm into the whole digital art thing. I have a Wacom tablet, all that stuff, and I think I found you by YouTubing you, or not YouTubing you specifically, but YouTubing, about tutorial and because I played League, there is no reason for me not to, Google like League art creation. And then you kind of came up, and then I, liked your page. Actually, I think I asked you a question, like, I think it might have been 6 or 7 months ago, or maybe 8. I remember because
Can you remember the question?
Yeah. I posted on your Facebook page because me and my friend were actually going to create this game, and I wanted to know how they did the moving art, on the logging in page. Do you remember that?
Oh,
I posted on your Facebook.
I think I do remember getting that question. Yes.
Yeah, and it was always one of those weird kind of mysteries because I remember Hearthstone for Blizzard had it was like a video playing in the background on their website. It was like you could right click and you could actually you could extract the raw video file, and you could just it was just like a video, and they just put it on their thing. So I mean that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
figure out how to do that.
Yeah, that was really cool seeing. I mean, I was there right when Riot was like, "Hey, we want to start making these animated logins." And at first, I think Lulu was the first one, or maybe there was another one prior to that. But
Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu, I know definitely. She had her own music, and then from that point, everybody was like, "All right, let's do like an even better animation and this new login music." And then when Diana came out, like with her login music, we were like, "Whoa!" Like that really set the bar for something as far as what we could do with login screens.
The new Yasu is like craziest login screen ever. It just pumps me up.
Cool. The Yasu login screen is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It just takes you to a whole other world.
And it's really interesting. A little bit of a tidbit of insider information if you guys are interested.
Uh-oh.
But
dun, dun, dun.
Something that I've noticed with the splash art is they have a lot of these characters like sitting down, right? They're kind of just like in these relaxed poses. There's a lot of splashes that have been coming out lately where they're focusing more on the feeling of the piece as opposed to, hey, I'm this guy with this big sword and I'm jumping at you and I'm going to slice your head off,
Yeah.
And this was like a common thing that when I was working as a splash artist, all the producers were like, oh, hey, this stuff sells. When you draw the character like this, coming straight at you and it's all dynamic, it sells better. So all the splashes need to be like that. And a lot of the splash artists were like, no, we want to like sell feeling and we want to like create a mood for this piece.
Yeah.
Really happy to see that is coming through and more of the art that's coming out of Riot now. So
do you think that okay, so here's an interesting question. You can answer it or you can, dodge the question if you want. Is Riot concerned about selling skins more than, creating like a dynamic game environment? Like, do you feel like you were pressured to sell more than you were pressured to make something of quality?
In certain ways, yeah. I mean, you need to understand it is a business. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we do have to make money. And I understand, people crunching the numbers and be like, hey, when you draw stuff like this, people like that more. But I think something that I wanted personally, when I first got to Riot, I had this feeling of like real freedom and being able to try things. And I think Redeemed Riven is a good example of that. That was one of the first splashes that I did. And after that splash came out, it was like one of the highest selling skins, since the company had even, come together. So I was like, whoa, okay, so that worked really good. I'm the kind of person where if something works really good, I'm interested in like trying something different to see if it works even better. Right. Whereas I felt like a lot of the time it was like, okay, that just works. Let's stick with that. And all the splashes look like that now. So and could you imagine Yasue, not in that pose? Like instead, he's like, oh yeah, he's like coming at you, and he's just like, he looks exactly like Tryndamere or any other character with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually really respectable on your part that you want to keep trying to like raise the bar higher as opposed to just milking what you can out of the same thing over and over again. So I respect that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but also. Yeah, but the other side of it is I do understand that there's always risk involved, and hey, if you try something different, it might not work and it might fail. So, and not make as much, as the last thing. So I don't know. Cool. It's I can't exactly make the call. You know what I mean? So.
Well, it's kind of like my League of Legends play. I just feed over and over again until I just find something that works, right?
Yeah.
That was what got you to Diamond 1, right? That was the sole reason for Diamond 1.
Yeah.
You just fed until you had that one time where you weren't feeding and you won.
Mm-hmm. You're like, hey, that works pretty good.
Yeah, I win.
Of all of your work, like with the Winter Wonder Lulu and then the Battle Bunny Ribbon, what was the most fun, and then what was the least fun? Curious.
Okay, I got some good ones for you. I think Oh, you gave me two choices. Sorry, I was about to pick two random splashes. Did you give me two choices?
No, do both. Your favorite and your least favorite.
Oh, okay. My favorite splash that I ever did was probably... Shoot. I mean, as far as concepting and doing the splash, I really liked Bunny Ribbon because I got to do both sides. So the concept art is at the beginning where they're deciding, oh, okay, what's this thing going to look like in the game? And so they put me in charge of that. And what was really interesting is we were in this meeting and we were trying to figure out, okay, are we really going to make this skin? Because they're all worried about, oh, Riven's like this strong female character and we don't want to just like overly sexualize her and just like sell out. And I was like, here's how we do it. We just call her Battle Bunny Ribbon instead of Bunny Girl, right? Because Battle Bunny sounds so much more... It's still kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's more action-oriented.
Yeah.
And so, and I carried that over into the splash because I was like, okay, she's not going to be in like some lame, Playboy pose. Let's actually make her doing something. Like she's, the story was she was supposed to be like infiltrating a Noxus dinner party dressed as one of these bunny girl waitresses. So that one ended up being a lot of fun.
Is there kind of
my least favorite?
Is there kind of a little story that happens between like going into a skin? Like, will you kind of come up with something like that as you create one that doesn't really get out there, but people like among you guys, you kind of know where you're going?
Well, yeah, totally. I mean, I think a really good thing to think about when you're creating a skin is, what is the story? Why would this character look like that? I'm a really big fan of telling story within a splash and within a picture, so
that's cool.
Those things are just really important.
All right, so yeah, your least favorite splash art.
Least favorite. Oh man. I think any of my least favorite splashes are ones that just had to be rushed, unfortunately. The next patch cycle was coming up and something happened, something that happens constantly or just regularly at the studio while I was working there was they'd be changing the skins. Like, oh, it doesn't read well enough in game. We've got to change the colors, or we've got to change this and that. And then that would affect the splash. You'd have to redraw the character's, shirt, or, they have shorts now instead of pants. So, and then you have to just kind of just wing it. Sometimes I would be creating splashes in as little as one day.
Wow.
When those came out, I wasn't proud of them, because it's like, these could have been better. And so yeah, I don't want to name any because I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm gonna go look at those ones. And
no,
yeah.
I understand. Which ones suck?
You can pretty much
Quick, everyone buy.
You can tell any.
No.
Yeah.
We'll give you compensation.
Kind of goes
for
without
this.
saying.
Everybody
here's
on the stream
an
has to
awful
buy the ones that they didn't like. That you didn't like, they have to go buy them right now with Riot Points.
To make me feel better.
Yeah, there you go.
Boost the sales and be like, oh wow, he
Wow,
actually knew what he was doing. Good job.
Yeah, the sucker skins are actually good.
Here's an awful question for you. Does Riot know when they're going to be adding a champion to the game based on putting them into the splash art, like the Battle Bunny Riven had the Zac figurine in it?
Yeah, that was my buddy Larry Ray. He's the lead concept artist over there, and that was his champion that he was trying to push. They're like, we need to make this champion, and I put Zac in the splash before he had even been agreed upon that he was going to be made into a champion. But
wow.
I liked it so much. I was like, all right, I think it was right before the tipping point where they're like, all right, fine, we're actually going to do this. But in general, yeah, they usually have a list of a few champions ahead of time, or they have a list of 10 when I was working there. A lot of ideas, and then they kind of.
There was something with Volibear, I remember. Was it? I think it was Volibear, where they decided a long time ago that they were going to do a bear, but they finally got around to it. I don't exactly remember. Is that right?
Yeah. Stuff like that happens all the time. They'll have a champion that, they're thinking about releasing, but then they rework it, they push it, sometimes for a year, and then they finally release it. So
that's
just the way it goes,
It's crazy that they have champions on the back burner like that. Just thinking about what it would be like to be a champion designer outside of the artistic department. It's just that you have this kid. Yeah, you have this kid just sitting there for a year, and you're like, man, I really want to put this into the game, but I can't right now because it'd be OP. And then I remember getting the first survey when I got out of a game, and it was like, what do you feel about Zac being in the League of Legends? And I was like, absolutely hate it. Click, submit. I was just, I hated him. He was so strong.
Really?
I just randomly got a survey when I left the game. It was like, how do you feel about Zac?
They started doing that with Zac. There's random surveys now that they will give you. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But also, I don't know if you know about this, from when you were at Riot, but some guy I saw on Reddit posted a picture when he made a Smurf. It was I don't know if it glitched or something, but he had a picture of a new updated splash of Baron on his background. It was a new Baron. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of pumped because I was hoping Baron was going to get a visual upgrade, eventually.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you mean that Reddit post? Did you
see that?
Yeah, that was awesome. He made a new Smurf account and loaded into the league, and then as the loading page where you would normally see spectated games or deals in the shop, it was a big huge Baron Nashor that was fighting Jarvan and Master Yi or something, and he looked like badass. So
yeah, he looked. Yeah. I may try to find that and post it in chat because it was a pretty sweet picture of Baron. Also, everyone who doesn't know exactly what Kienan did or is interested in looking, I am going to put up. Here, here's his Winter Wonder Lulu in-game concept. I just put on the screen. So yeah, y'all can check that out. There it is. I'll be kind of rotating between 3 of the pictures. So the guy we're with right now is the guy who painted that. So that's kind of cool. So anyway,
very interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
being an artist has always been a real hobby of mine that I kind of wanted to get into, and I'm getting into more now. Question. Do you use a Cintiq now?
I used the Cintiq while I was working at Riot, but I am actually more partial to the Intuos, just the regular tablet that's on your desk.
Okay.
So for an artist noob like me, can you explain what that is?
Yeah. Cintiq basically it's the screen, like you're looking, imagine it's your monitor and you're able to take a pen or your stylus and you're able to draw right onto the screen.
Wow.
It's pretty sweet. It's absolutely awesome. But I could never figure out a really good way to get like my posture is really bad when I work on those things because I'm always kind of like holding my head up and it's like barely like it's straining my neck.
Right.
Whereas when I'm working with the tablet, it just sits on my desk and I can, look straight ahead at the screen and then I can just work down below. But it takes a little bit more hand-eye coordination. You get it.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
And you don't have your hand in the way. That's always nice too.
That's really cool. So
A little bonus.
one of the perks of coming to Beyond the Meta, not only Riot points, but also the ability to be able to, ask Keenan a question on the actual stream. So I think Nick has somebody, so he can go ahead and bring him in. And I think we have a guy that wants to ask you a question, Keenan. All right, so we got Trist990.
Sounds great.
Yo, Trist, are you there?
Hey.
Yo, you got a question for Keenan?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Did you have to change your art style to fit League of Legends style much?
Yeah, when I started working there, I realized that I was going to have to kind of match a little bit of I liked their like kind of dark, gritty feeling, but also like the colors, like the really awesome colors in their splashes. And I learned a lot, like when I did my first art test, just about controlling color. It was mostly just with color. I feel like I'm pretty versatile with my style. I can look at somebody's basic style and kind of mimic it, but yeah, there was definitely some learning to be had there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great question.
Do you have
Great
anything
question.
else for us? You got another question for him, or is that it?
That was it.
All right, cool, man. Well, I appreciate your question. I'm glad we got you on. We'll get more people. We'll get more people on. That is the plan, is to have others to be able to ask Keenan questions as well. So, all right, man. Thanks for being on with us.
Bye, Stompy.
I was just half expecting someone to Dick. Everyone get it ready.
Oh man, what is this art that you have on the screen right now? That's an awesome picture. It's like almost Walking Dead-ish.
Yeah, that's Emma comic. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, Emma is the comic that I decided to make when I took off from Riot. And it's basically Little Girl versus The Walking Dead. That's the subtitle. That's basically what I say to people, and they instantly get it. But it was an idea I had probably about a year before I even started at Riot. And then towards the end there, I was like, all right, I think it's time to just try this out, make this thing happen. I don't have a lot to lose, and I got some money saved up so I can go for a few months. Let's make a website. Let's try this comic thing and see what happens.
And how is that going? Is it successful, do you think? Are you getting a lot of, good things coming from it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's gotten an awesome fan base, a great community around that. And, I mean, I just feel like the community kind of mingles with the YouTube community that I have on there for the art tutorials and the shows that I do daily.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I mean, it's interesting you bring up success because I knew right off the bat, I was like, okay, I can't base it off of how much money this is going to make necessarily. That's definitely a goal, but my definition of success was just, hey, you know what? I'm going to make this thing, and I'm just going to tell a story.
That is cool. So did you have the story already before you actually started creating the comic?
I had a really crappy one, but I sat down with my buddies, and we kind of fleshed it out and fixed it out. It was going to be really lame at the beginning. There was no other characters. It was just Emma, and I was just going to kind of wing it as I went. But luckily, right before I quit Riot, and this is very interesting. It's funny how things kind of just line up, when you're getting ready to do something.
Right.
But there was an awesome comic artist by the name of John Boy Myers who worked for Marvel and DC and over at Riot. And what was interesting was I was sitting on the other side of the table while I was interviewing him to work there.
Oh, wow.
So I'm interviewing him to work there. Meanwhile, I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna be taking off pretty soon. Let's see what this guy knows.
Wow.
So I was like, so in your opinion, what makes a good comic? There's some good things that go into making a comic.
Wow,
and he's giving me back the answers and just writing them down in my little notebook. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good.
Does he
but
still?
He's a really nice guy, and
Does he still work? Does he work at Riot, or did he not take the job?
No, he's working there. He actually was the guy behind the animated Udyr comic. That was his art.
Awesome. That was a cool thing.
Yeah. So he's freaking good, and he was.
And he was from DC, you said?
He's done work for both DC and Marvel.
Wow.
See, I think
I'm actually on
this,
your YouTube channel at the moment, and I'm like really, really intrigued. I posted it in the Twitch chat. Everybody should go check it out for sure. I'm probably gonna watch your tutorials and start following this Emma comic because it's pretty awesome. So I zoomed out for a second watching it. It's pretty good. I like it a lot.
After this, I'm gonna get out my Wacom tablet and just start drawing because you're inspiring me again to be a drawer, artist, drawer, whatever you call those people that draw with things.
Drawer. I like drawer.
A drawer. I think we should bring that. We should bring that in. Whenever you go into a job interview now, you're like, so what are you applying for? I'm applying to be a drawer.
Professional drawer.
I'm a professional drawer. I draw
That's
things.
Right.
It's logical. It's a logical way of. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny.
Another funny thing, speaking of titles, first joined Riot, they were like, title's just a title. You can call yourself whatever you want. And I think a common thing that all the other Splash artists, when they came in, they were given the title of, I think it was 2D artist or 2D concept artist, something like that. And I was like, no, you know what? 2D production artist. That sounds, There's just a ring to that. I'm just going to start calling myself that. So
2D production artist. There you go.
2D production artist. Yeah.
It's all about. It's all
the
about
more technical title, the better.
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool things about Riot when I first joined, and not that all of those went away, but it was a real. I felt like I got in at the golden age of it, and it was just there was so much freedom at the art, mostly because we didn't know what the heck we were doing.
Right.
But it was just I like it when it's at that point where there's no real set rules and there's a lot of room for creative.
Well, obviously, you guys still stay in contact because you recently done the Winter Wonder Lulu. Do you guys still have a relationship where we need Kienan's ability to create this for us, and they contact you, or vice versa, just contracted jobs, stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I did leave on good terms with them. I just told them the reason why I was taking off was because I wanted to try something crazy, make my own thing, but. Yeah, I still am on contract with them, and they send me work every now and then when they want a concept or whatever. I'm not doing Splash anymore, to be honest, because right before I took off, the Splash artists were wanting to push the polish level and just make everything super pristine, and they've definitely nailed that, and they're freaking good at it. Personally,
the new Baron Splash.
I like to do. I was a little bit more of a fan of stuff, and I really don't like sitting in my chair all day just rendering, just this guy's shoulder plate. It's really not personal.
Just the really minute details that they want you to work on for hours on end. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, and it definitely shows. I'm not knocking it, but I'm more of. I realized after that I'm more of a concept artist. I'm more the guy that just lays down the idea, says, hey, this is what it should look like, and then somebody else does this awesome, super precise, beautiful painting of it. That's how long the splashes take. They take weeks to do.
They do? So from,
anyway,
from start to finish, from concept to actual, we are putting this in the game, how long does it usually take?
Well, if they're not to put it on the back burner, or be like, hey, we're going to save this for later, if they were literally the concept champion up thing, I would say it would probably take about at least a few months. I don't know. I can only estimate that.
So what about actual drawing time? A few months?
Actual drawing time for a Splash?
Yeah.
For a splash, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks
Oh, okay.
usually.
Okay.
About that. But they got all the artists, like all the splash artists work on stuff together now, which I think is really awesome. Before it was like, okay, you're this artist, you're in charge of Rengar, you're this artist, you get Yorick or whatever. But now all the artists seems like they're working together. I think there's a guy that specifically does backgrounds now.
Okay.
You know, he was working with me right before I took off, and he's freaking talented. The guy's name's Lulu, and he's really good.
Wow.
Is there any way that you could spoil maybe any Easter eggs that maybe have been looked over, or are there any more Easter eggs kind of like similar to the Zach being in the Battle Bunny Riven? If you can't say, that's fine. I'm just trying to like milk what I can, you know.
No, that's all good. I think there's every Easter egg that we put in, it seems like people get it within the week. But the only one that really comes to mind, and I'm sure everybody saw it when it came out, but on the Fizz art spotlight, people have been wondering why that mustache was drawn on him. Like there's just like a split second where there's a mustache drawn on Fizz. And the reason why that happened was because that was my coworker actually playing a trick on me. Every time I would get up from my desk to go, you know, get a drink of water or something, he'd come by my desk and he'd draw mustaches on my characters, even if it was like the girl or something.
That's pretty awesome.
That was Larry.
That's awesome.
He was the designer of Zach. That was his work. So just like playing tricks on people, I guess. Yeah.
So that is why there's a mustache on Fizz for a split second.
Yep. That was Larry right there.
That is funny. That's great.
Mystery solved.
I actually think
Get it on Reddit.
I actually think that there was a video that I watched when your K and Kale Daily videos that I think you explained that when you were doing something with Fizz. I don't remember. I think you said something like that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of funny. You heard it here first, folks. You know.
Larry Ray, the mustache.
Second,
guy.
I guess, technically.
He loved his mustache.
I guess you heard it here second after you heard it on the K and Kale Daily Show. That Fizz mustache is because of this guy. You know, breaking news. Everyone go to Reddit. Stop the presses.
So, on a hobby base, since you are an artist, which, you know, it's kind of like a hobby to some people, like what do you like to do outside of, well, obviously you play video games, I would assume. What do you like to do outside of drawing?
Well, lately I'm always hooked on multiplayer games. Like I've realized something as I've been growing up is I'm really addicted to competitive
Same
games.
thing. I am with you.
I've always just been interested in like wanting to become the best, you know, and just like putting this time in and like knowing things that other people don't know, you know, just that comes from playing the game a lot. Not knowing just mechanics, but almost just like the way that the game works, you know, and using that to your advantage. But I used to play Black Ops 2 a lot with my buddy, David, who is the writer on the comic now.
Awesome.
But lately I've been playing a lot of The Last of Us multiplayer because I think that is really fun.
I heard
It's
the
a
game
little bit
was
more slower
incredible.
paced, but game. And the multiplayer is really cool. It's really slow paced, and you have to like sneak around. You have to actually work as a team. And I don't know. I seriously think I get matched up with the same like 10 people every time I play that. I don't think anybody plays that game anymore, but it's really fun.
Do you play WoW?
Definitely.
But I used to play WoW all the time. Yeah, as soon as I got out of high school, I could not wait to get out of high school so I could just sit in my room all day and play WoW. And that's basically what I did. I did that for like 6 months. I'd stay up till 6 in the morning, sleep until 1, and just play some WoW.
Speaking of WoW,
I love the PvP.
I cannot get WoW out of my life. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
I will be.
You told me you quit.
No, I
You
did,
lied
but
to
I
me.
actually
You bad.
resubscribed. I resubscribed the other day. I'm not even kidding. No, but
Oh
like,
my god.
Why?
no, but
You couldn't resist the mount sale or whatever?
no.
The mounts.
Big shiny flying mounts?
Yeah, no. I mean, I would be.
I know you want that.
I do. I really do. I do want that. No,
What made you?
Here's the deal.
What made you do that?
Okay,
I'm curious.
I don't know. I used to be like him. I used to play WoW all the time. I was into the whole competitive rating thing. I was into the whole PvP thing. You know, and it's just like one of those games that I would quit because it got boring. Because everyone quits WoW when it gets boring. That's just the reason you quit WoW is because it gets boring. So it gets boring, and then boom, like don't play it for a while. I would play League for like a year. And then all of a sudden, one day, I don't know if I saw like a video or a new expansion was coming out, I'd be like, oh, I kind of want to try WoW again. Because they do this really good job of releasing, solid amount of content on like a 3-month basis where whenever they do it. And you go back and you play again, and it's like, oh, this is fun. And then it gets boring, and then you quit. And then it gets fun again, and then it gets boring. Like I'm on those little like roller coaster ride of coming back to WoW. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you completely. The new trailer to, I think it's called Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah.
I will probably resubscribe. And I have a confession to make. I probably will
subscribe.
subscribe.
The Meta Guild, everybody.
Yeah.
Beyond the Meta Guild.
My thing, though, that kind of relates to Keenan's thing, is I'm mega competitive. So when I played WoW, I was like trying to be like the best guild in raiding, trying to be the gladiator. I remember whenever Cataclysm came out, I'm actually the server first, level 85. Got that achievement.
What a queer.
It was like...
Actually, sweet.
Listen, like real life. I was racing a guy who had beat me. Whenever Deathmatch first came out, a guy had beat me. His name was Jimbo Flex, and I gave up on it. I was like so pissed. Cataclysm came out. I actually had a Shadowmourne from my previous raiding experience, so I was like clearing shit really, really quick, and it kind of like became a server-wide thing. You would like slash who's level 83, who's level 84, and then it got down to where there was just a couple of us that were level 84. And Jimbo Flex was another Death Knight, and I didn't even care about getting server first 85. I just wanted to get server first Death Knight.
Yeah.
So we're going at it. We thought that this priest had us beat for sure. And I PST Jimbo, I'm like, hey man, where you at? He's like, I'm 3 bars in. And I had just hit 84, so I was like, fuck, I'm screwed. It goes on. And then I'm about to turn in my last quest that's going to hit me to 85, and my arms go numb. I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
I was like, no. My friend was with me, and he comes over and like turns the quest in, and then it's like, boom, realm first level 85, and everyone just starts spamming me, get alive, Grats, get alive. It was such a rush of emotion, but like that's my dirty little WoW secret. So outside of that, I'll probably play the new expansion just to race for the XP grind. Then outside of that I'll unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. So now that we had our little WoW conversation, let's get back to League of Legends, because I know people.
The real video game
of this world, the number one video game in the world, League of Legends. But I do think we have another person that wants to ask Keenan another question. So Nick, if you want to drag him in, we can get question man number 2 inside here with us. Dun dun dun. If he's listening, I hope he's listening. Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
What do you got?
Hi. Okay, this might be a bit unfair, but who is your favorite champion? Could be art-wise or just gameplay-wise.
My favorite champions are Kog'Maw, Maokai, and Urgot. And if I were to just pick one, it would probably be Maokai. And I like him because I just like all the monster champions in League. Like, I don't enjoy playing the humans. I like beating up on the humans, but I don't like playing them. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Maokai's voice. That's why. Maokai's voice makes him the best.
Here's a good question. Who's your favorite champion splash art that you didn't create?
That I didn't create. Okay.
None of them, because I created them all,
that's a tough one. Yeah. I really like Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is awesome. That was a splash right there. He had just recently gotten hired, and I think that was one of his first big splashes.
That's cool.
Kha'Zix, definitely. And because he's from the Void. Kog'Maw's daddy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's really good. I just say that.
All right, well, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for your question.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
I keep listening, we need viewers. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, stay here.
Yeah,
stay here.
Just because you asked a question doesn't mean you can leave now.
Yeah. And I forgot to say, the other thing I like about Maokai is his Pikmin. Or saplings.
Yeah,
I call them Pikmin.
Yeah, no, they are. They are like Pikmin. That's a good point.
Pikmin.
My favorite Maokai skin. I'm sorry, because I think I know you
He's the
created
only
a
champion.
I know you created a Maokai skin, but it's the
The
Christmas.
Halloween
Oh
one
yeah,
is probably
Graveyard Maokai.
the nuts.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas.
Is that the one that you
Maokai.
made?
Christmas Maokai is my favorite.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's
They
the
need to get
presents.
lights on him.
I think it's
They
the
need to get some
presents.
freaking lights on him.
Yeah, the lights. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, the presents are good.
But yeah,
So
Gravedigger
you
Maokai is
created
good.
the Christmas one or the Halloween one? I'm confused now.
Oh, Ed was saying he likes the Christmas one. I concepted the Graveyard one, actually. I didn't do the splash, though.
That one's my favorite, actually. The little graves, I feel like they're random every time he throws out a little Pikmin or whatever you call them. The little graves on the guys.
And his
That's what
death
we're gonna-
animation is the best, too. Like the
Product
little,
placement.
little dude jumps off of him.
We're
What's
not, we're
your
not telling
opinion?
you guys to
Diving
go
board?
buy the game Pikmin. Do not go buy Pikmin because we said that.
No,
No,
you're not
we're not
sponsored by
getting
Pikmin.
paid. We're not getting paid for this. We can though if you're listening. If you work, whoever makes Pikmin, I mean, we can sponsor Pikmin here. Just send me a message.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So last
I
episode,
know
we-
myself personally,
What?
and a couple of viewers that like just love Zombie Brand. Like they think that's one of the best skins ever. What's your thoughts on the concept art for Zombie Brand?
I freaking love Zombie Brand. Everything about it. Especially, like, the thing I love most about those things is seeing the initial 2D concept when it comes in, where it's like, hey, we're going to make Brand into a zombie. And you're like, oh, okay, that's nice. Then when it goes to the modeler and the animator and the particle artist, and you see how it's going to look in the game, and just everything they did with that skin, you're just like, holy crap, like, this is awesome. Everything about this skin is awesome. And I think that's my favorite part, is just seeing the concept go, and then everybody kind of takes a hold of it, and then when it gets into the game, all the animations, and just, you can see everybody's work just, like, shining through in the game.
Okay,
Do
now
you feel that like zombies just win? Oh, sorry, Ed. I don't know what I'm going with this, but the zombies, like, I feel like zombies just, they've taken over everyone's viewpoint on
Yeah,
everything now.
taking
Like
over
with the
the
Walking
Emma-
Yeah,
Dead.
everybody
but
loves
taking over
zombies.
the
it's
Emma
just,
comic
it's just
too.
happening.
They take
Yeah,
over
it's
the
just
Emma comic.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, some people say they never really go away. It's like they're always there. It's just like sometimes they get more popular
Yeah.
than other times. But zombies are always cool. People love zombies.
That is-
They've been
that
big
is
since
funny.
Resident Evil.
Well,
Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation.
I now have a bad reputation among our chat of being not very smart because I said whoever made Pikmin. It was Nintendo actually, so I kind of I sound
Oh,
stupid.
yeah.
I sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I don't know. Olimar is the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
I think someone has a question about the Emma comic, so let's
Okay.
see what they
Bring 'em in.
What do they bring them in? Bring them in. I wish I had a song to play like. Bring them in. Bring them in.
We'll work on that.
Bring
We
them
can
in.
get that.
Bring them in. Yeah, we'll get it recorded next episode. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, man? You're on Beyond the Meta. What do you got? If
Shots
you're there.
fired.
If you're there.
A lot.
Sorry about that. I have the stream running at the same time, so.
Oh yeah.
So
Speaking
good.
of that, Twitch's new delays on their stream. We'll get to that
Oh,
eventually.
yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying.
All
So
right.
the question.
Yes.
Sorry to kind of backtrack on this, but how did you get the idea for Emma?
The idea for Emma was originally just a gift drawing that I drew for a friend on DeviantArt because we did art trades all the time. And I was like, I like this cute little girl with an axe on her back and there's like zombies behind her. So I drew that and I just looked at it and I was like, you know, there's something about that that's kind of cool. I felt like it was all inspired just by some instance of a sketch that I did for a friend.
That's
All
cool.
right.
But yeah, that was basically it.
I just read through it. It's awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, emmacomic.com, right? emmacomiconline.com?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can Google Emma Comic or just go to emmacomiconline.com.
Yeah, y'all can go check it out. It's pretty cool, actually. Do you publish it in paper or is it just online?
Right now it's just online. I want to start printing them I want to print physical copies, but I realized very quickly, and this happens with all web comics, that the style changes a little bit. You start getting better at doing it, and then you look back on the first pages and you're like, we might want to go back and kind of touch these up, before we go in an actual physical. So
Okay.
I'm probably going to be doing that.
So
pretty soon.
you're gonna get yourself a little bit, I guess better at doing it before you go physical. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. yeah, I just want to make sure that the style is consistent, like it won't change too much, and there's just like a level of quality, as well as just like there's things I look back on like with a certain set of panels and I'm like, oh, I could have done this a little bit better, and some things that I want to change. So
That's
it's
amazing
just all
that you
digital.
can like continue to grow. Like as you're creating your own content, you're actually like making yourself better in the long run. Like and like going back and fixing a panel, like you're teaching yourself
It's
like
interesting.
just the skill. That's awesome. I really like that.
Yeah,
So what is
yeah,
the,
it's really interesting. I didn't even think about it that way until
so
you said it.
so what is the number one advice that you would give, like the not the number one advice, the number one thing that a new artist should know going into being an artist? Like, is it perspective drawing? Is it detail attention? Like, what is it?
Well, are you talking working professionally, like for a video game company? Or are you talking
I mean,
making
just,
your own
just
comic?
making, yeah,
What's the
sure,
best thing?
making your own comic.
I think the best advice I can give to people that are wanting to make their own project is don't wait for it to be perfect. Don't wait for yourself to be at that point where you're like, okay, now I'm ready to do it. Because if you wait for that point, you'll never reach it. When I started Emma, I told myself, it's like, you know what? I'm not ready to do this, but I'm going to just jump in and do it. And then you just figure things out.
That is great, actually. That's really good advice. So everyone who heard that,
And you almost use it as like I told myself this. I was like, Emma is the experiment, because I have other ideas for comics. And it's like, hey, let's make all the mistakes in this comic. Let's make mistakes. Make your goal to not have it be perfect. Make your goal to make mistakes. And, because it's just going to happen. And it'll just go a lot easier. And it takes the pressure off. And when you take the pressure off of anything that you're doing, that you're creating, it just comes out better.
that's
I
awesome.
think having the outlook of mistakes are okay, and then trying to fix them.
Yeah.
You can apply that. You can apply that theory to a lot of things. Even like, if people
Totally.
who are here for competitive league play, when someone dies, the game's not over because one person died. You just got to take what you have on your plate and
Yeah.
go with it. I hate when
Exactly.
people have that negative mentality. Just it really ekes me.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
It just negative
I can attest
mentality is
that.
bad, period. Just don't,
Yeah.
always be moving forward.
Although
That's-
sometimes I have been that person.
Yeah, no, we all have. We definitely
I've been that
all
person.
have
I'm like,
been that
oh,
person.
it's over. It's over.
Yes, we
This
definitely.
guy's a feeder.
Yeah.
Let's pack it up.
Yeah. Oh, with League? Yeah, League specifically? Oh, I'm like that
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you how many
I'm that
times
guy
I could have
sometimes.
broken my monitor by now just because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate my
It's
life.
pretty
I'm
bad.
done. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I have friends that have like uninstalled the game like 10 times. Like they'll uninstall it, and like an
Yeah.
hour later, they're like, all right, I'm reinstalling. Wait for me.
Yeah. I've been there too.
Yep.
Oh, well.
It's okay. I mean, honestly,
Oh, yeah.
I think the League community is improving. I really do. I like little
Really?
by
I hope
little,
so.
it's baby steps, but I do think people are starting to understand. Especially from the
Well, that's good.
midder feed concept. I really, maybe this is
Yeah.
wishful thinking on my part. Maybe I'm hoping that it's improving, but I really think it is. So that's good. I like League.
Yeah.
League people, keep doing it. Don't.
I mean,
midder
I think
feed.
But,
that the overall outlook on it will increase because people will start. People that are like, report this new, blah, 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 I'm feeding, I'm AFK. Like, why would you want to play a game to enjoy it if that's going to be your attitude? Like, that's just the only thing I don't understand about people. And they get into the game and they start freaking out. I'm like, why? Come on, we got to work through this to win. If you want to like goof off and you want to go do your thing, play normals, play with your friends, troll. It's okay to troll. Like everyone likes to troll every now and then.
Yeah.
But I think when you queue for ranked, there needs to be like this a terms of agreement. Like, hey, you're queuing for ranked right now. You sure you're ready to do this mentally? Like, I think that would be kind of okay.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we have
Ranked is
another
basically
question.
to the bitter end, to the bitter end.
I think we have another question for you, Keenan. It's about Chinese splash art versus NA art. So start thinking
Oh,
about
okay,
that
yeah.
in
This is a good one.
your mind, and we'll
This is a good
see if
All right.
the guy gets in here, Mr. Nick. Everyone, I'd
That
just
is
like to
yeah,
give a
really
shout
awesome.
out to Mr. Nick, our customer support representative, who's handling all of you guys. If I could, I would give him riot points, but the riot points are actually for you guys, not him. Speaking of which, there may be a riot point contest coming up
I'll give him a
soon.
hug in real life. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I'll buy him a beer.
All right, Mick
Swing one
Epic,
right over though.
you're on live with Beyond the Meta. What's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
Big epic, hey.
Really
So
good.
word on the street is you have a question for Mr. Keenan.
Actually, I have a two-parter question for him
Okay.
because
Oh, I like these.
after
I like these.
after thinking about it, it was very interesting because my first question is why are there different splash arts within the different regions of League of Legends? Because I've noticed there's a lot of controversy between like, oh, why don't we have the
Oh,
Chinese
yeah.
splash art, stuff like that. Why are there different concept art teams? What is this just strictly for region base, or is it just uh, a I guess fan base type thing?
Yeah. Yeah, the NA artwork versus the Chinese artwork was something that was huge. Like that was huge controversy when I started working there. And of course, me going in there, I was looking at this stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, like this stuff, like they were doing stuff really well. They were doing stuff better than us for sure. And I was like, all right, well, it's time to step up the game. We got to be better than these guys. And the reason why there was two different styles of art was because when Riot was bought out by Tencent, which I think is like one of the big gaming companies over in Korea. They had their own art team because there it's a different culture and they like a different art style. So they just had their own art team making stuff for them over there. So that's why there was two different styles of art.
Okay, and my second part would be: do you know? I know you aren't with them currently, but is there going to be maybe a standardized splash art system they're going to use? Because it seems just a little unfair to certain regions if that one group has really awesome splash art. I'm not saying that the NA scene has terrible splash art, but I mean I've seen some of the Chinese splash art and it looks fantastic.
There's definitely a lot of the Chinese art that's better than the stuff that we have currently on the NA. And I don't even know, I haven't seen any of the new splash art from China for a while. I haven't seen anything from them. I don't even know if they're still doing it. Are they? That's my question to you. Are they still doing art?
Haven't really, it's been a while since I've looked up videos of certain Chinese splash arts. It's just since you were here, I thought it'd be a good idea to ask you because you've actually been inside the project. You know what's going on, and just maybe if there was something coming out with it. As far as that goes, since they did get bought out, do you think did anything change? Did you notice? Were you there when it got bought out from an artistic standpoint?
It didn't change too much. They didn't have Tencent didn't have necessarily control over Riot saying, hey, we're going to take all of the art that you guys got, we're putting all the Chinese art in. You know, they didn't have that sort of control over us, but the push because we knew that we wanted to bring our art up to their level with the things that they were doing well. But there wasn't that big of a change.
There like a Chinese law that changes a lot of the art, like they have to be a certain way or they can't show skeletons or something to that degree?
Yes. There are rules, and that was another reason why there may be other artists, mostly because they just like a different aesthetic, but also there's certain things that you can't show in other regions. One of them I think is like human bones or skulls, and there's all these interesting things that are weird to us, North Americans, but over there it's just a different culture. So
well, awesome. Thanks for your question, man. It was great. Glad we got to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, very good question, McKevitt.
Yeah, thank you.
On, man.
But all right, so I think I wanted to bring this up before you leave, because I know you're leaving soon. I think you're going to be here for about 6 more minutes. But there's one thing that I remember talking about in the lobby that people decided to gang up on me for my
what is this?
My personal opinion on Dyrus's trash talking after the Battle for the Atlantic game.
Oh my God! Here it goes.
So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I have a little audio clip for you guys to hear what Dyrus said. So I'm gonna play it here real fast.
As far as I know, the only NA team that I'm worried about is Cloud9. The rest are non-existent, especially COG.
I need to clip.
Now this is what happens when you give Dyrus his own mic.
Yeah, so that's what we got. I mean, I don't know if y'all heard it, but I did play it. So Dyrus. Actually, no. You know what? Let's play it one more time. Let's play it one more time
No,
so you guys.
it came through on the stream good. It just
Okay.
didn't come
No,
through.
I'm gonna play it again
Yeah.
just so you guys can understand what he said, because I really want you guys to hear this one more time.
As far as I know, the only NA team that I'm worried about is Cloud9. The rest are non-existent, especially COG.
That's ridiculous.
Now this is
And
what
has
happens
lost
when you
sleep
give
over
Dyrus
this.
his own mic.
Yeah. So we're not talking about light trash talk here. We are talking about legit. He told CLG what was up in a negative way. So I'm going to
that
give...
was followed up later with him directly tweeting that Hotshot was a little bitch.
Yeah.
He said he followed up and said, "Sorry for my actions on stage. Was Hotshot's a little bitch for downing XDG?" Like, that's straight up. What the hell?
Wow.
That's fire.
Ridiculous. Okay, here's my opinion, and y'all can tell me how stupid I am after I give my opinion. Pro gamers need to be they're professionals. You know? They need to keep themselves with composure. They need to in my opinion, they need to act like they're making money from doing something, you know? They're not just like I understand they're younger, they are more immature. But I just think this is absolutely ridiculous that what he said. I do not think this gives esports a good light, in terms of everyone watching from the outside, like ESPN and all them. I feel like all those companies are watching this and they're kind of like, this is a bunch of immature kids, playing video games, and I feel like that's what esports is kind of getting the rap. And if you want to, take esports to the next level, I feel like things like this is more of a negative, it gives it a negative vibe. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I mean, I'll let Keenan go with his opinion first, because I want to follow up for a while on this.
Okay, so he's got to develop his opinion. Keenan, what do you think of that?
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's good to, there can be some competitive talk going on, but the way that he put it is just, it is kind of immature, and that's not good for, we're trying to expand. I hear that. They're going to be, like, what is this? They want to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Not that there's some dumb stuff that happens in all the professional sports today. Anyway,
That's true. There's
stuff like that constantly happening. So, I mean, it's a bad thing, and again, it's not like we're the only ones that are doing it.
Right. No, I understand.
Yeah, I mean,
and you should watch when you
sport.
You should watch when you're watch what you're saying, and there's a right time for everything. There really is. And I do not think this was the right time to say something like that. This is the Battle of the Atlantic. This isn't TSM versus CLG. This is TSM, CLG, Dignitas, all the NA teams versus European teams. They're playing as a team. They're each of them.
I can agree with that.
Quote unquote, they're on a team with each other. And even Monte Cristo, put something on Facebook that has said essentially the same thing that I just said. That this isn't the time for this. Like, this is the Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup is golf. The Ryder Cup of League of Legends. Like, this is when the NA teams are supposed to come together and beat the European teams to show them who's boss. This isn't time to trash talk your own teammates. It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it was a wrong time to say something like that.
I can agree that was like wrong on that basis, that they were all on teams. But at the same time, you got to look at, like, the NBA, the NFL, like, all those guys, they have their token dudes who talk trash and just stir up drama because essentially that's what our society is based on these days. Reality TV and drama. Yeah, like they're like, "Oh, dude, did you see what Dyrus said about them?" And then people were all watching that clip, and at the end of that clip, everybody's like, "Oh shit, Dyrus, man!" Yeah, like they love that stuff. Like, that just sparked so much. And then the Twitter following is just crazy. Like, it's just so funny to see people argue over Twitter regardless. And then, like, I guess Monty said the same thing. And he followed up with, that's pretty, bad timing because we're all on a team at the moment. But Dyrus is also trying to change his persona, like his personality via stream, because he makes the mega bucks on the stream, has 30, 40, 50,000 viewers, and he would normally just sit there and not talk. So he announced, I think on his YouTube channel one day, he does a vlog. He was like, I'm going to change the way I, hold myself, and I'm going to interact with you guys, and I'm going to show more attitude, in the community. So I guess his idea of showing more attitude was straight up shooting body all over the place.
Try it out. Yeah.
That's true. Well, unfortunately,
Well, if that's the case, yeah.
Unfortunately, it is 6 o'clock Pacific, and I do believe
Is it 6?
Keenan has to leave.
That means, yes.
So sad.
Gotta boot me out.
I want to cry. I mean, you can stay if you want.
I love having you.
You
I
can
love
stay
having
if
you on the
you
show.
want,
Your
but
work's
I know
great.
you have your own
You can
show
stay.
that you have to go to. Right? Are
Yep.
you going to be streaming after this?
I'm going to be streaming at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so an hour from now.
Okay,
But I do
so-
have some
so
preparations.
Pretty much
to
when
make.
we go offline is when you start streaming. So you're not going to be taking our viewers, so that's good. I'm glad.
No, I will not. I would not even dream of doing such a thing.
Well, I am glad.
Well, I want to personally thank you for coming to the show and
Yeah,
sharing with us all your dirty little secrets and awesome ways to draw.
Yeah.
And your comic. I hope it does very well. It's a great comic. I'm
Okay,
gonna follow
yeah.
and subscribe.
Real quick, New Year's resolution. What is it?
Thank you. Yep. My New Year's resolution. Oh, man. Oh, I haven't even thought about it yet. I've just thought about what's going to happen in the next year as far as Emma goes. And
Yep.
I mean, just looking at, I started this thing November of 2012, and all the stuff that's happened within a year, I can only imagine what's going to happen this next year. And like guys like you inviting me on your show, and just like, I can't believe the stuff that's happening. It's really awesome. I'm
No,
grateful
we're
for that.
trying to better the league community by doing this. So I'm glad that you came. It was a great time. Keep me in. I'll be in touch. We'll keep in touch, and maybe we'll have something going on in the
Maybe
future. Don't
Viewer
disappear on
games.
me.
Yeah.
You never know. We can in-house with Keenan.
Yeah, that's right. Even though he
Grave
hasn't
Digger
played in a while.
Malachi.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, don't disappear
Yeah,
on
I'll
me.
do my best.
I'll be around. You'll be around. We'll keep in touch. But I really appreciate you coming on, man. It was great.
Yeah, of course. Anytime, Ed.
All right, thanks, man.
Stop. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, see you guys.
Sure.
All right, see you later,
Later.
man. All right, guys. That was our awesome guest of the show, Mr. Kienan Lafferty. I am so happy that we had him on. What about you, Stomp?
I love the guy. Never
Yeah,
met him
I
in
know.
person, but I would vouch for him any day. He's
I
a
would
he's a
too.
good guy.
You know-
He has good moral ethic. Great work. For sure, all around good guy.
If he ever needs a reference, I will be a job reference for him. If someone ever asks
But
for a job,
what would he
reference,
put down?
I will put down
Gotham's
he's
true hero or what?
true.
Like-
Yeah, it's Gotham's true hero. That's exactly what I will put down. That's
Oh, wow.
That's pretty great.
That's an ongoing joke. I don't know if it's ever gonna catch on.
We'll
but
always
I
talk
love
about
it.
Batman. There's no reason not to talk about Batman. But you know what? Let's take a little break here because we've been talking for an hour. We'll come back. We'll talk about a little Battle of the Atlantic. We'll talk about maybe a little bit more about Dyrus' situation because I still don't feel like you're on my page. So I really want to convince you to my side of the cause. And we'll get you guys.
We
in.
can go into that a little bit more for sure.
We'll get you guys in, and we'll actually be giving away some Riot points now. In honor of Keenan, I will give you a $25 Riot point card to the next person that we get on to ask a question to us. So you said it here. Break time, and we will be back in a few minutes, guys.
Sit tight, guys. Go grab a drink, use the restroom, come back, and maybe win some RP.
Yeah. So, I think we're back, everybody.
Yay!
I think we're back, and we are going to talk more Dyrus. So
League of
I
Legends
guess
stuffs.
For those of you who didn't hear it, I will play it one more time, just so you can hear.
As far as I know, the only NA team that I'm worried about is Cloud9. The rest are non-existent, especially COG.
Yeah, so non-existent.
Good for the community.
Yeah.
Good for the community, for fun, bad for public rep.
Yep.
And the only thing that really sucks about this the most is I watched a clip. They did an HBO Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, and they interviewed like Team Dignatus, and they followed Scara around. And I thought that esports and at least the League of Legends as a whole was like making a good name for people who do follow the NBA and do follow the NFL. But yearly review basically is what this was, and the yearly review had a bunch of like older people, and there's no way that's a real sport. No. But the girl who followed Scara around and got to see it firsthand and got to go to this event and see what it actually takes to be a pro gamer, she got to see that it actually can be a professional sport, and people want to watch this and view this. I mean, it sold out the Staples Center.
Yep.
It did all these positive things, and then you have these older people who aren't used to this generation of hobbies and games, and they just instantly have a biased opinion on it, and it's not really fair, in my opinion, that it's their opinion that matters. So I think that once that changes a little bit and a little bit gets older, and we'll look back on stuff like, whenever I'm 30 or I'm 40, I'll look back at video games being a sport, which hopefully by then they already established. But I'll look back at it like, that's awesome. That's what I did when I grew up. So my kids and my grandkids can do the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. Esports really is becoming something bigger than what it was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And, I'm starting to lighten up a little bit on this whole trash talking thing, because you're right. I mean, we do kind of need it. I mean, it's good to have, the bad guys, quote unquote, the ones that will always talk trash, the one that everyone, boo, like WWE kind of like reminds me of. There always is the villain, and people kind of want that. But, I guess we can all agree that it was the wrong time to say something like that. It was like, with the Battle of the Atlantic, NA versus EU, it was just the wrong time. It's not the time.
That's really the biggest problem with the statement. It was at a time, basically it would have been the equivalent of the All-Star game. Dyrus was on the All-Star team. If he would have said that during the All-Star game while he had like CLG team on like called for, and it was the timing that was wrong. Right. It wasn't that the statement was that bad, it was just the timing was off.
Right, correct.
So,
I agree.
But that's just, it is what it is, and we have to go on from it, and hopefully it doesn't get a bad rep to the outside league world. But all of us, Redditors and league junkies know that Double Lift has wore off on everybody. See, Double Lift was the only one who talked trash before, and now everyone's kind of like soaked that in, like, oh, it's trash talk time. Like,
yep. That is true.
But I'd like to talk about this Twitch delay, because this was really bothering me, not only on this stream, but my personal stream, and it's really, really bugging me really, really bad.
Okay, so we'll go into the first, category of Reddit report we got going on, where there's a new update on Twitch that says Twitch imposes a maximum of 1 minute delay on all the streams. That kind of stinks, especially for our show, Like, when we're trying to, interact with the chat, I can already tell that there is a big delay going on, in Twitch. In Twitch. And it's hard. It's harder than it was before to communicate with our listeners. So, I mean, we're kind of having to rely on raid call even more than we did before.
Yeah, it was like after the show last week, our first show went really good. I'm really glad to see a lot of the familiar faces back. Thanks for the support. And after the show, people were like, hey, we want to, watch some League. So I went to stream. The stream didn't work. And I was like, hey, what's this shit? I go through all my OBS settings and all my, I was like, there was an update today, so that has to be what it is. And lo and behold, Twitch has actually accommodated their servers to go through a longer buffer process, accommodate for the PS4 and the Xbox One live streamers. So basically, a bunch of little children who want to click the stream button from people who have been established on Twitch for some time now.
Right.
And I just don't think that's fair at all. I think there needs to be some kind of application process to be able to provide entertainment for people. You shouldn't be able to just click, hey, I want to stream. Mom's letting me play for 30 minutes, so I want to go on here and talk about dicks and girls and and then like that's taken away from people who actually need the bandwidth from Twitch,
right?
Or professionalism.
Exactly. I mean, they need to have some kind of ability, like you said, for people like us, to be able to bypass it. Even like an application, like you said, we need to just to email them and be like, look, we got a live show going on. Is there any way you can take the buffer time off? And maybe they do it. Maybe that's in the plan. I hope so, because
that would be great.
Yeah,
we should delve into that.
Yeah, I will. Maybe I'll contact him and say something. But so I think we've got a guy who wants to answer a question. I think, or ask a question. I think Nick said. So if Nick wants to get him in here, and I did promise that the next guy that would ask a question would get $25 of Riot points. So Nick, who you got?
OP.
Yo, what's up, man? You're on Beyond the Meta.
Kel's here.
Hey, guys.
How's it going, bud?
I'm doing well. And you guys?
Excellent. Thanks for asking.
I'm doing great. Keenan was awesome. I'm in a good mood right now. So, what do you got as a question for us?
Well, it wasn't really about a question. I was talking. You guys were talking about Dyrus, and pretty much say what I was gonna say about Dyrus talking about it. I always thought that was actually a gold mine what he said. During the time, if a company, just let's say like a big company wants to get into esports, they'll look at that and first be like, hey, what was that about? And then they'll find out that there was such a big rivalry between TSM and CLG. And big companies be like, oh, okay, the two biggest teams pretty much in NA had this big rivalry going on. We can spin that, make it more media. And for him speaking his mind, I mean, look at Charles Barkley. I watch a lot of NBA, and Charles Barkley was a very, very big name there. And he just decided, I can speak whatever the hell I want, and actually more people liked it more than people just saying, oh, being all prim and proper. Mm-hmm. I do agree with the timing being a little bit off since they were playing against EU, but I also think he was just so bored from playing a 40-minute game of just farming that he just had to get something off his chest that he was thinking about the whole time.
Yeah. I actually didn't factor in the fact that he did play a straight RPG farm game, because he had little to zero impact on that game. Literally sat in the top lane and just farmed CS. So for 40 minutes of that, when you're on like a stage of that magnitude and you want to like be the guy making plays, or you want to be the guy that's getting those awesome highlight reels and pinnacles, he was a little agitated. On top of what he said was jet lag and just being tired and stuff. So yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, you did. That is a good point. Well, I appreciate your point. And I am getting a little bit, less opinionated on this. You're kind of convincing me to come over to the other side. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was a little too, I had a burning desire to just throw someone under the bus. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, I was also reading on Reddit. There was a post there, and there was an article written about it. And what it sounded like, the guy was trying to say that it even sounded kind of a little bit staged to build up the rivalry between TSM and CLG since it was dying. Right. But that's his opinion.
Huh? Maybe that is a chance. There could have been staged. You never know. With Dyrus, you never know, because I feel like the guy has the same facial expression all the time.
It's hard to see emotion, that's for sure.
I've never seen him, other than that weird, half smile, half serious face that he has. I'd never see him other than that. So I don't know.
Have you seen him play Yasuo yet? The clip of him playing Yasuo and not know how to use his ult? There's some emotion there.
That's
I actually haven't seen that, but I seen that it was on a Hot Topic. I'll have to check it out.
yeah. I will definitely check that out. But all right, man. Thanks for your comment, and I sent you a $25 ride point card. So congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And you guys are awesome. I'll listen every week.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Great.
man.
At least we have one viewer. At least we're guaranteed
That's
one
all that
viewer.
matters. As long as someone listens
You know,
and enjoys
if
the
someone's
content, then we'll be here.
Yep. If someone's listening, we'll be here. Another thing I saw was that Snowdown is supposed to go live today. Don't take this like, as me saying that, but I did see that Snowdown is supposed to, go live within the next couple hours. So that
I did
would
see
be pretty
that
awesome.
mystery gifting is available at the moment. They're bringing this back.
Yeah, I
Same
wonder if it's
concept
gonna
as
be
the
Is it a wintry mystery
Halloween.
gift?
Well, on Halloween they had you could gift a friend a random skin. Now they have 3 different options, and the one they had the other day was a self gift. Like you would just gift yourself.
Yeah, I did see that.
Today.
Is that
This
back?
one's actually you have to give. The store seems to be closed for me right now. It's actually there might be some kind of.
It might be
Well,
Snowdown. Snowdown might be coming, which is
Yeah.
why they're closing everything up.
I'll actually relog here and see if it changes anything. But yeah, I'm really glad they're
Oh, it
bringing
is
back the mystery
online.
skins.
People say it's up.
I'm patching it right now.
So I take that back.
It is actually up.
Snowdown is live, everybody. In the hour that we were with Keenan, Snowdown went up. So that's pretty awesome. I'm glad.
I think it's really cool that we had the guy who created the Winter Wonder Lulu on our show.
I know.
That's so awesome.
It was perfect timing too, because this is the Christmas episode. Because our next episode
look at her
will
right here.
be
She's all
a day after Christmas.
beautified with a poro.
Yeah, I do. That was really cool. It was cool to talk to someone that made something like that in a game that I play. I don't know. I may go buy Winter Wonder Lulu just after this episode. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I have enough money after I give away all my Riot points. Yeah.
Hopefully, everybody shares some love to Keenan's page and goes and gives him a follow and subscribe. Just one little person going and just clicking the button helps out so much.
Also,
for someone who relies on YouTube and an amount of followers.
Yeah. Also, shortly after we get off, here, Keenan's going to be going live with his own stream, so that's pretty cool too. So I may go actually check it out. So he actually does tutorials for drawing. So that is what he's all about. He's all about teaching others his ways of doing things. So that's pretty cool too. I like people like that.
I was really surprised in his answer to my question. I asked him, about how gift that he just had, and he said, "No, you just need to work hard and never give up for it." And that was why I didn't take my artistic skills in any direction, was because I kind of just give up on myself whenever I was younger, and I didn't think that it was actually anything that I could get into. But it's kind of like sparked a little fire inside me now to check out some tutorials and see if I could do some of the things, because I used to be able to draw good in high school, and now it's just like I haven't drew anything, and I don't even know how long.
Drawing is definitely something you have to keep doing continuously. I don't know. Honestly, I wasn't kidding when I said that, he kind of inspired me to want to do more drawing and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I just like talking to people like that because they're so insanely positive about what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was definitely very positive, and he had a very good work ethic behind him.
Down to earth, positive and down to earth. So that is the two good things. It definitely shows why he was, got hired by Riot, because of that personality that he has. But someone actually asked, what are your thoughts on the current matchmaking system in ranked solo queue, and what would you change to it?
This is to us or
yeah,
me
this
or
is to
what?
us. This is to both of us.
My standpoint on ranked solo queue, especially the people who follow my stream, know that the attitudes of players does not change from bronze to diamond at all. Me on stream can see that, like, they'll ask me all the time, they'll be like, "Is this diamond?" And the people are so immature and toxic and just rage and type and type and type and AFK. Like, I streamed yesterday for probably 8 hours or so of solo queue, and I had 5 games that are recorded on my Twitch VOD. 5 games where someone left the game because they were were mad at another player on my team from the start of the game. Joined, got the game underway, and like some guy in my bottom lane would do something or say something to our top laner. Top laner would straight just be like, okay, bye, and leave the game. And this literally happened 5 games yesterday. So it was just one of those really weird scenarios where there was nothing I could do to influence the game, because winning a 45 is possible but extremely hard. It sucks for someone like me who, plays to entertain. I'm streaming to entertain my viewers, and, you guys don't want to see a 4v5 game. You guys want to see one of those epic, awesome games that are like, oh, we're losing, but we could come back. Or maybe you want to just see one of those shit stomps where, just go legendary and kill everybody over and over again. But you never want to see a 4v5. Like, it's just not good for, the viewers. So I think that if I could change anything to answer the question, I'm sorry, I steered off the question. If I could change anything about the queue system, be to take away the Season 3 changes, which is added divisions and promo matches and stuff like that. The Season 1, Season 2 strategy of the chess elo, everyone starts at 1,500 and you go up and down. There are no promo matches and there are no division qualifiers, but as you ranked up, you would be in that division. I think that the ideas of divisions are good, and still keep diamond, still keep challenger, and all those things. But as you increase yourself on the ladder, then you would be rewarded with those titles instead of having to get lucky and win best 3 out of 5 or best 2 out of 3. There's sometimes that you just can't help those, So that would be my changes, to go back to the old way, just the chess elo.
Here we go. I have an interesting idea. Have you ever played Halo 3 or Halo 2 specifically? Yep. The 1 to 50 matchmaking system. What would that be like if they brought it into League? Like, if you win a game, you essentially could possibly you can go up. You go up quickly early on. You could get to maybe 50 or whatever, 75, maybe even 100, where your rank is going to be 1 to 100, or let's just say 1 to 50. Where 50 kind of gives you the diamond logo, 35 maybe silver, like 15 is bronze, something like that. But it kind of saturates everything into one, long category, to where if you win, you go up in a level. If you lose, you go down. All the diamond ones are going to be, 50, and they're going to be constantly winning. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think that could be used, but it would have to be altered in the way of fitting for the competitive nature, because in Halo, you're getting a random group of people. You could have a level 1 in your game. You could have, a level 50.
Not necessarily. Like in the competitive, it did a pretty good job of saturating. It balanced it out to where if you had a 50, a 45, or if you had like a 50 and all 45s on the team, then the other team could be maybe a couple 47s and a 42 and a 43. It takes the average level of each team and puts them together, which I mean, like you said, they would have to work it out, but I don't know, that could be interesting.
That would definitely be a new take on something, and it would give it a little bit more flavor. That's what they tried to do with the divisions. They stole that from StarCraft, and then they ran with it, and everyone loved it at first because they felt like they were getting something, but then they realized, oh, we forgot that these guys could just get to Diamond 5 and then troll.
Well, it made it easy.
These guys can get to Platinum 5.
It also made it a lot easier to get to Diamond than before. Like, being a Diamond player, 2,300 was Diamond?
I mean, it increased significantly because the requirement was so low. Whenever I was originally Diamond in Season 2, I had a 2450 elo, and that was godlike. I was in the top 100 on the ladder and stuff, and now it's just like being Diamond. It's kind of like, oh, you're Diamond. Well, you have to be Challenger now to be like one of the badasses,
Yeah, that's
which is impossible almost, and that's why they're increasing it to I think 200 people can be Challenger now instead of 50.
Oh,
because
I did not know that. Are they're doing that?
Right, they are, because Diamond 1 queue, like when you're above 50, 60 LP, there's actually a hidden different queue that puts players that are higher than 50 LP in Diamond 1 into a different game than people that are below that. It's kind of like D1 is broken into 2 different divisions, honestly. It's just like a secret thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, when you get higher than the 50 LP, you actually are basically working your MMR up, which is the Season 2 method, and once your MMR gets high enough, you are qualified for the Challenger Series then. So
cool.
It's just a really weird system.
Yeah, that is. They definitely got some tweaks to, figure out with the rest of everything, But I've got another topic interesting. I don't know if you want to have your little take on it. It's the names are becoming, harder to get. I got lucky and got my summoner name Ed. It's just Ed, and I mean that's pretty awesome. But like, new players coming in, they're not necessarily getting the names that they wanted. So this guy, came in and was like, well, what if you add in, clan tags or something to be able to distinguish, names where everyone could just kind of get the name that they want as their display name. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it was going along the lines of,
So you're saying like your name would have a clan tag, so you could just add, say we were on a team called like, BTM, Beyond the Meta, and our clan tag was BTM, and then I could just have BTM Stomp a Little if someone already had Stomp a Little.
Right.
You're saying that's pretty cool, but I mean, like essentially that's what the rename thing is already there for, though.
Or you could make it to where you add people based on their, login ID or even a different ID, that you create. So like you would make your login ID, whatever, Matt, and then in game people would add you by Matt. Like if they wanted to search for you, they type in your Matt or whatever your login ID is, but then your name would be Stomp a Little, like in game.
That'd be pretty cool.
So where like
they just need to do something to where the not active accounts need to be disabled, or I mean you can send a ticket into Riot, but you actually have to go through a process to get that account name. But I mean it is there. The process is there for someone to do it. I think that you have a game that's free to play, you're going to have people that abuse the system as like they'll just make all kinds of accounts and have them and just never stop. Just like the same thing with Path of Exile or any other free game, like people are going to exploit it somehow on that sense of being able to obtain those things. So you send a ticket in, kind of like on the World of Warcraft issue where we spoke about, if someone had Joe Bob George on their character name and it was inactive for like longer than 6 months, I could, send a GM ticket in and be like, Joe Bob George is my name, Blizzard. What the hell, man? And then they'll send me a ticket back and say, all right, Joe Bob George is now your name. And, all is well.
Is that how
all
it
is
works?
well. Yeah, I would name, if I played WoW again, I would name my character Joe Bob George.
Is that the GMs you've been dealing with?
Oh,
hey Blizzard, I want Joe Bob George is my name. Hey, how you doing? You got a little banjo in the background.
I don't think I've ever dealt with a cool Q Deliverance. I don't think I've ever dealt with a cool Blizzard GM though. Honestly,
they all
like
roleplay. They're super into roleplay.
Yeah, they roleplay. They're like, a swift wind appears in front of you, and I am arrived, Blizzard GM. And you're like, oh, this guy. You think that you're like about to get taken care of, you're like, oh man, this guy's going to help me for sure. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, that quest didn't give me my reward. It must be a bug. Can I please have my reward? And then the GM's like, the swift dust of powder, I disappear because I can't help you. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh no! What about my quest?
I don't even know what their job. Holy crap! Yeah. Anyway, that would be a fun job though for sure. I would come up with some really.
I would do that all the time. I lost a bunch of money, or like in League, like they could do that in League. Where like, I don't know. Why would you put in a ticket in League? I don't even like. Oh, I can't log into my account. Oh,
League's pretty responsive though. I'll give them that.
With a big stomp and a gust in the wind, Ed appears, the moderator of the League of Legends. What is your quest, my friend? And then he's like, oh, I can't log in. And with a gust of wind, I am out of here, and I will not help you.
Imagine how good that would be though if games could have moderators. Maybe they should make that something, or something they should think about. What would keep them from having random mods be able to join games or view games and see the chat room to them, be able to deal with player issues outside of the Tribunal? Because the Tribunal's a broken system anyway.
So like kind of like a Twitch mod, only like people would be chosen, or even Blizzard or Riot would have mods where they would just go into random spectating games and just see toxic players.
Yeah, like they have 24/7 like CSR, kind of like on the World of Warcraft issue. Like you could always ticket for a GM, and they would like I'm a night owl, so I'm playing at like vampire time, and if I needed a GM, one would still assist me 24-hour service, but obviously Riot would have to have someone or some group of people who worked constantly and could go in and out of games,
right?
And randomly catch people who are being extremely obscene and toxic and deal with it there on the spot, because the tribunal does not work. The tribunal bans someone, and then that person makes a new account and they level it back up and they get back to where they were, and then they start being toxic assholes again.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
Well, assholes will always be assholes, no matter what. They will always be there.
If someone's permabanned and doesn't change their attitude after a permaban, I think they need to do the XJ9 treatment to them, honestly, and give them the full boot.
Yeah.
And the IP ban, the full 9 yards.
Yeah,
which that guy was messed up to a whole nother level.
No, yeah. But some of the stuff he said was a little ridiculous.
Yeah, like, if you guys ever want to get a good laugh and understand how creepy and weird some of the people that you play League of Legends with are, go listen to XJ9's YouTube channel, or Destiny, the StarCraft/League player. He recorded XJ9 actually talking to him about some really messed up stuff post-ban, and like you can see why Riot decided to get this guy out of their game, because there is no way that he gives any kind of good PR whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I was thinking, what if, you know how they have the upvoting system where you can like vote good players for whatever, good attitude, good teamwork. What if like the people with X amount of upvotes like that would be the mods, but they wouldn't necessarily be able to ban someone on the spot, but their opinions, would go through the tribunal on a higher, priority than, normal reports. Where like if they reported someone, it would be instantly up there, and other people could see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's actually really good. There needs to be some kind of reward to being a good summoner.
Yeah, so like if you're a good summoner, that'll be part of the reward you get. You can go into spectating random games on the client, and maybe there'll be a system where you could just click spectate random game. It'll just literally put you in whatever game, and then you can,
the unfortunate
watch
thing is
the
that,
chat, whatever.
Well, what they would do, like this would be their thought process if Riot was at like a round table in Riot offices somewhere, and Excalibur's chilling there in the middle.
Right.
Morello was like, herp, burp, burp. We need to implement some kind of honor system that the players can deal with issues themselves. Someone would say, like any other human being, whenever someone is given power, they abuse it.
Yeah, that's true.
It tends to happen no matter if you're Gandhi. If you have this nice guy, never talk, never be BM to no one persona, and then all of a sudden Riot sends you an email and you're like, we're giving you the power to ban someone because you are such a good, honest, loyal, awesome summoner. So if you ever see someone that does something wrong or do anything like that, you can click this button and they'll be punished. Bad game, or someone doesn't really troll them or just does something stupid and they're like, well, I've got the ability to ban him, why not just right click and do it?
Right.
So then after the game's over, that guy's like, boom,
yeah,
you just got banned, and so then like he just slowly starts getting corrupted, Bilbo Baggins style. So
yeah, that's true.
That's just unfortunately that's the truth.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I wish that there could be. That's why you have to have paid representatives. Actually, you can't do it on a free person basis. It's got to be on a paid Riot employee basis, I think.
Yeah, but Gandhi is an exception to that.
Yeah, Kel Sayer says a good point. Some until you said Gandhi. Yeah, but I mean, you know what I was going with. Like, you can take the nicest guy in the world and then catch them at a bad moment or piss them off to no degree, and then they're going to give you the ban hammer.
Yep, that is true.
The honor system is broken. Asian Thunder. That's a
nice
they do trade honor points. Asian Thunder. The league is broken or corrupt to some extent. Yep. Unfortunately, that's the truth.
Yeah,
and
I mean, you just got to work with that. You can't just expect everything to be nice. You gotta just live with the fact that you're gonna have dumb people in this world that are gonna say whatever they want. And you just gotta make your systems around
anyone. Yeah, my best advice to anyone is to, when you enter a ranked game and you're in that, like if it's a normal game and people are being assholes and just dicking around trolling, I would look at it really lightheartedly and just joke around with them, or just try to troll them back even harder, like outwit them, basically. That's what my brother does. My brother just outwits people because he's very intelligent, and he can just like beat you with words, basically. But what I'm trying to say is when someone's being a douche in a ranked game, don't let it break you down mentally, because that's when it turns bad. And I hate when that happens to me. Like, I love whenever I can be resilient, and if someone's being rude and toxic to me, I just ignore them. Usually the best thing to do is instantly click the mute button on that person.
Yep, or just drag your chat off the screen.
Yeah, it literally helps me so much when I mute people. Because, like, when my MMR is low, or I'm playing against people that I know are, like, you know, not very good, or they're toxic, and all they're doing is ruining the game for everybody else, like, I tend to argue with that person and try to, like, let them see the light. But then I just find myself stooping to their levels, so then I'm like, wait, what am I doing this for? And I'm just like, you know, mute.
No, trolling the troller is not a good way of going about things. Do not troll the troller, because once you troll the troller will troll you back. And it's a never-ending trolling of the troller, because then you're the troller that's getting trolled by the troller. You see where I'm going with this?
You're trolling right now, I'm pretty sure. You just trolled us.
I did. Like, wow. Crap. So I guess
it's a dream inside a dream.
Yeah, this is Inception. Where's my Inception button? I wish I had one.
You know what I really hope that we can achieve someday?
What?
Front page Reddit. Why is it so damn hard to get front page Reddit? Why is it so hard?
Do we have a good?
We have like a bunch of upvotes. Yeah, we have a lot of upvotes. I don't understand. We just can't do it. Actually,
it's just not meant to happen.
Actually, we're number one on the thing. No, we're not. No, we're not. I actually found us on 51. I seen the one and I was all pumped up for a second. But we're rising. We're rising. Okay. Yay! I mean, like, I would love to be front page Reddit someday.
That'd be cool.
I guess that's
our goal.
A bucket list.
That's going to be our New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution?
Before, to be on the front page of Reddit. That'll be our goal. Maybe we can get it next episode. I don't know. Maybe we can get it before the New Year. That'd be awesome.
That would be really cool. Speaking of which, how is our show schedule going to be for next week? Just so everyone that's watching now knows.
Are we just going to go on the normal time. Are you feeling that? Are you feeling good about that?
I'm fine with that.
It's just like everybody else. If you can't make it live, then you can always listen to it post live, because we will be putting it on SoundCloud. It will be on iTunes also. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I will be posting.
Go ahead and give us the big announcement for that.
I will be posting details about it. We're going to be on iTunes, so you can grab our podcast. It's going to be pretty awesome. And, as always, we have a YouTube channel. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. I don't have
our Facebook.
And our Facebook. We just made a Facebook. All you got to do is search for Beyond the Meta, and boom, we'll come up. So that's awesome. Favorite the live video right now.
We'll try to do
Twitch. Make sure you favorite it so you know whenever we go live.
Yeah, the random things on Facebook, so make sure you follow for the updates and announcements and stuff to that degree. Yep. I know we're kind of like steering off of what we were wanting to talk about at the moment, but
no, it's okay. It's shameless.
We're growing, and you guys know that we're new and we're growing, and we just want to become something that's in the community, and hopefully the new player, the new and experienced player can come and enjoy our broadcast and maybe take something out of this and learn. Maybe we had Keenan on the show tonight. Hopefully the people that wanted to learn about art and the Lulu skin, the Battle Bunny ribbon skin, they got to learn something and maybe fulfilled kind of desire that they had by talking to him. Hopefully we can find a good guest host for next week that is up to how great Keenan was tonight, and hopefully the show just continues to grow. And that's really what we're here for, you guys, and we just want you to enjoy it. As long as you enjoy it, and then it's perfect for us.
Yep, that's all we want. We just want to provide quality stuff for you guys, because we do love.
And as always, the feedback is great. Like we take into consideration anything you guys have, suggestions. If you guys want to send us a private message on Twitch, if there was something wrong that you think they can make the show a little bit better, don't hesitate to don't send a message like, "Hey, you messed this up, idiot."
You guys suck. I mean, we would appreciate those also. Okay, you know what? There always are
positive feedback.
There always are people that just want to downvote us on Reddit. I don't understand. What did
they
I
just
do
hate
wrong?
us on Reddit.
What did I do wrong? I just want to talk about League, and you're downvoting me. It's kind of sad. I don't know. You know what? I forgive you, downvoter of Reddit, because I know eventually, whenever you do tune in, I think you will like the show. So that is my message to the Reddit downvoters. Just give us a chance.
Sissos
just give us a
said
chance.
Eve OP in the showdown. What do you mean by Eve's OP in the showdown? Also, if you guys have any viewer questions you want to go ahead and shoot at me or Ed, say whoever it's directed to in the Twitch chat, send us your question, and we'll try to cover up on some viewer responses at the moment while we wrap this up.
Why am I so stupid? Well, funny thing, about that.
Dropped on your head.
I don't know. Yeah. Just talking so much, it takes its toll. It really does. I mean, I will not say I have been the smartest person today since I didn't know what Pikmin was, or Pikmin was created by. But you know what?
Cheddar
It's all
Hippo
right.
says, "I love your guys' voices. How old are you?" I personally am 24, and
I'm 22.
Ed, how old are you actually?
I'm 55. Actually, I've been playing League for the last 30 years. No, it's just kidding. No, but I'm 22, graduating college in May, so hopefully, maybe we can get to go to Riot or something. You'll see us at the Season 4 World Championships. I don't know, maybe. I hope so.
Analyst desk.
If anyone from Riot is listening, feel free to contact us at beyondthemeta@gmail.com. I will get back to you.
Beyondthemeta@gmail.com. Dun, dun, dun.
Beyondthemeta@gmail.com. But you know what?
What do you mean? Who wants to ruin what for everyone else? Some people are just mean. That's true. They just want to ruin it for everyone else. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. Like, some people literally, like,
their mission in life is to make other people's lives.
Yeah, they get off to that
worse.
shit. They're like, I downloaded every single thread that was rising today on Reddit. Meh. Like, I don't understand what people do that for. They just want to be mean.
So let me ask you something. So people downvote Reddit threads because they, want to go against, they're kind of like hipsters, they go against what everyone else wants. What about the people who liked Rebecca Black's Friday?
It was garbage, and so was Saturday.
Do you think that?
God.
Do you think the people who liked Rebecca Black's Friday were the people that were like, "Hey, I will get back at all you guys for downvoting, so I'm gonna upvote"?
Oh my God!
I don't know. Maybe.
Keep her off the show, Ed.
What?
I'm just kidding.
What?
I said keep her off the show.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Only on this show we can talk about Rebecca Black. But actually, I have.
Do you like Rebecca Black?
I didn't think Saturday was that bad. But I'm going to keep moving on because I know you're going to kill me. So I'm going to move on to the next topic, where is a Riot Point giveaway. I have a new graphic for that. So I'm going to give away $10 of Riot Points to the person. Let's see. What do you want to do?
I want to do
something in chat.
I think we should type it out.
No, well, we'll type the next one out. But this one, I want to wait for chat to, answer and respond to us. We'll see the actual delay going on. But what do you want to do? I want to ask a question, and I want to get the first person that answers the question. But the one stipulation is
that's sexy.
The one stipulation is you can't have won before. If we know that you've won before, you're not going to win. But let's see. What do you want to ask them? I want to ask them something about esports.
Something about esports.
Okay, here we go. How many points did TSM get for beating Lemon Dogs in the Battle of the Atlantic?
What do you mean
it's pretty
points?
Easy. The way that it works is that the teams will get points for winning, and it tallies at the end. That's how they figure it out. So like certain teams, one game will be 1 point, one game will be 2 points, one game will be 3 points, and it goes by the seeding. So at the end of the day, we can explain more about it later once someone asks. Oh, well, Kale won, so I'm not going to give him points. Did MC Epic already win?
He actually didn't, but he was on the show earlier.
But did he?
So
win?
I think that I think RP. He didn't win RP. No, he came in and asked us a question.
Okay.
He asked about the Chinese art. So that seems good.
Yeah. So we'll get MC Epic some riot points here. I think he's in raid call, so I'll go ahead and send him this message. So congratulations, you've won RP.
Terabuma says, "Hey, back. What's going on? 15, 17, 14." It's like whenever someone's streaming has thousands of viewers and someone types like exclamation riot point giveaway and everyone just starts spamming it.
Yeah, everyone's like 17.
That's funny.
That's pretty funny. I find that hilarious, that Kale won again. But you know what, Kale? You're not a winner this time.
He just
Are you just a born winner? Like, is that what it is? Are you born to win? I'm just gonna take that answer as a yes. But
his name's Kale, so he's already an OP champion as it is.
That's true. He is. That is true.
All right, actually, I can go over maybe some interesting champion picks for around the league segment since we skipped it today.
Okay.
Just so everyone knows.
Sure.
The current meta, from what I've seen in Diamond Play at the moment, is Kale actually is a very, very strong champion when you build a pure AP. So if you guys are wanting to experiment maybe in a solo lane with some easy wins, you definitely want to take Kale with maybe a full offense build and a lot of upfront attack damage and ability power. And you will see how much damage she does. Max her E, it's crazy. Like, you will be able to carry games no problem because you can influence the game so much by being Kale with her ultimate, or your top laner, your jungler gets caught out of position and you get a good ultimate off, completely reverts a team fight, just changes it around. So if you want to try to yell hell a little bit, definitely try picking Kale up. Also, the new flavor of the month is Mundo top lane. If you want to take Mundo with flat health quints, armor yellows, blues, and a hybrid armor pin, magic pin reds, with a full 30 defense mastery tree into the top lane and farm, will lose early if an aggressive laner like Riven or Renekton is in the opposing lane. You will lose. That's not a big deal though, because what Mundo ends up scaling into is an unstoppable force later in the game. If you want to build a Spirit Visage, Sunfire Cape, straight tank items, nothing offense whatsoever, and you basically become a meat shield later into the game, and you get caught like on purpose. All you do is you go get caught and you soak up all the ults, all the auto attacks and everything, and you get really low. Then you pop that ulti and you just heal. You stay at about 20%. They keep drilling on you, like they get this bloodthirst. They just see that you're low health and they're like, we've got to kill this fucking guy, and they don't stop. And then next thing you know, all their cooldowns are down. Your team swoops in, cleans them up, team fight, free win. In the bottom lane, with the nerfs to Lucian and Sivir and Tark, the bottom lane's kind of stayed the same, but at the same time, I think Jinx is pulled ahead as the best AD carry. So if you want to go straight raw damage and good positioning and mechanics as an AD carry, you should definitely pick up Jinx. Her kit's pretty easy. You want a little bit more advanced damage kit, you go with Draven. Draven's extremely overpowered. Regardless what people say about his passive being nerfed, new passive can put you way ahead of the game if you get an early kill or if you just farm it up well. Catch, about 100 spinning axes, a huge chunk of bonus gold if you get the last hit on somebody. So those two champions are really, really strong if you have good AD carry mechanics and positioning. And last but not least, in the jungle, I would strongly suggest Nocturne. Nocturne is very overrated, very underplayed, and extremely strong. He survives the jungle well with lifesteal quints, attack damage reds, armor yellows, and you can run attack speed blues, cooldown blues, or MR blues, whichever ones you wanted to decide. But you go 9-21 masteries, just a little bit into offense for attack damage, and the rest down defense just to stay tanky. Your build path can be the new Elder Lizard, or the Ancient Golem, whichever you choose. They recently changed the jungle items to where they all had conservation, which is an extremely good ability. Basically generates a gold per second, so you can't go wrong with that ever. But Nocturne just gets tanky. You get one DPS item. It can be any DPS item. Then after that, it can be Trinity Force, Yasuo's Ghost Blade, whatever you want to use. After that, bottom lane over and over and over again, and you will proceed to carry your team. That's my tips of the week
That was
for
the tip
League
of
of
the
Legends
day.
solo queue.
Welcome.
Tip of the day. There you go.
Welcome and good night from the tip of the day. Also, guys, if you haven't noticed, I've been putting these random numbers in chat. Those are actually a code to a $25 RP card that I'm slowly going to be giving away, so the last 4 digits will be coming soon. Right before we pretty much end streaming is when I'm going to give the last 4 digits. And that is, yeah, $25. It's my last RP card to give away, and, you know, I hope someone that isn't Kale or MC Epic wins it. Kale or MC Epic, if you're listening to this, don't hold the card. Do not. I'm telling you, I already gave you stuff. Oh, wait. Codes are down? You can't put in codes yet?
They're fine.
Are you sure?
They're fine. They're fine. And even if the codes are down at the moment,
no, I guess it's going to be even more of a race.
Whoever can enter it in.
Yeah, more of an epic race. Whoever gets the store up first. But let's see. Are we finished here? Is there anything else we?
I think we're almost out of stuff for this week.
Let's quickly talk about the Battle of the Atlantic games coming up. We've got CLG.
Oh yeah, and the LCS qualifiers.
We got XDG and Gambit, and we got Cloud9 and Fnatic. Those games are going to be coming up soon. Also, if those of you who didn't know what the point system are, the this number 1 seeded game, which is Cloud9 and Fnatic, get 3 points for the winner gets 3 points to their respective squad. You know, NA would get 3 points. The number 2 team gets 2 points. That would be TSM and Lemondog. Since TSM won, the US got 2 points, or NA. The number 3 team is also 2 points, which is XDG and Gambit. Winner of that gets 2 points to their side. And then 5 and 4 are 1 point each. So that's kind of how it works. So in other words, if NA loses the next 2 games, if CLG loses and XDG loses, but Cloud9 beats Fnatic, NA wins Battle of the Atlantic. Isn't that
wow,
kind of
that's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Like, because, you know, it goes by points, so that would be 5 points, whereas if EU won out, they would only have 4, so NA would win by 1. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting, that NA only needs to win technically 2 games to win the Battle of the Atlantic. But, you know, I mean, I guess they got to have some kind of, you know, distinguishing factor with the higher seeded games, you know, giving more pressure to the higher games.
Does the EU automatically win if they beat C9 though, and the other 2 teams win?
Correct.
That's like not fair.
No, I know. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I think the Fnatic's going to beat Cloud9.
Everyone will be watching that number 1 game. This whole thing is determined on the number 1 game. But, you know,
I mean, I strongly think that it's going to be a good close game, a whole lot better than it was at Worlds. But I really think that Fnatic's going to pull it back out because I just don't think Cloud9 has enough under pressure experience yet. I think that they're going to earn their under pressure experience throughout this season, and they'll be a really strong contender at Season 4 Worlds, but I just don't think that they're not seasoned enough since Season 1.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what?
But on the other matches, CLG, I hope they pull it through. I hope XTG pulls it through. Big upset if XTG beats Gambit, but let's be honest, those Russians are really strong.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
They're probably one of, if not my favorite team at the moment, just because Alex Each is such a nice guy. I'm like, he's got a really good stream. If you guys ever get bored and haven't checked out Alex Each's stream, you definitely should. Me being a Kha'Zix player, I definitely try to stay on par with him. So
right, definitely.
For the LCS qualifiers, I forget the matchups for those. I think that you had those.
I did. Here, let me pull those up real fast. It is Evil Geniuses versus Determined, Team Coast versus The Walking Zed, and Curse versus Cognitive. So those are coming up on tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that. Those are the 3 promo games.
I'm really curious on how the new EGNA is going to work out. Like, what do you think? And the viewers, what do you guys all think about EGNA? Like Crepo, Snoopy, and Yellow Pete, and with 2 NA guys. Like,
I mean, obviously we'll see.
I just don't know how that's going to work.
Obviously, we'll see what's coming on. With this promo game versus Determined. I mean, I think everyone's going to be watching. I think they could be pretty awesome, but it could also turn into something that's overrated.
A funny little backstory here. Not even really a backstory, just a funny little thing of the day. Substitute 80 carry for this past week of NACL actually was on my ranked 5s team. Like, we played together. Used him as a sub because they couldn't get their EU roster announced yet. And him and myself, when we played on our challenger spree here about a month ago, actually played against TBD and the rank climbings. So I think that's just hilarious how we played against the team that's playing against them now. I don't know. Yeah. That's just kind of weird, but that's funny little backstory.
I'm gonna have to get into Diamond, so I have some awesome stories to tell. So you're gonna carry me up, right? You're gonna help me.
Oh yeah, ELO jobs for cash, no big deal.
No, I ain't paying you nothing. That's funny. But
what was the other? Who was it? Besides their match,
it was. Let me see.
Who does Curse play? Who does Curse play? That's because I really like Curse. Cognitive gaming. That'll be really strong. Cog's really strong.
Yeah.
I think Curse will take that one though, because I think the new Curse lineup's looking really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does too.
Is a beast.
Yep.
He's probably the best top laner in A for sure. He's a monster.
So,
and you guys want to know a funny story about Quas? Is he didn't play ranked until this season. He only played normal games, and he was destroying kids in normal games. And everyone would always like profile him and be like, "Dude, this guy's like gold." He had like gold MMR from season 2. He just like didn't care about ranked at all. Had no motivation to play it. And then whenever they released the Challenger circuit, how it could only be the top 50 people, hired him to play ranked, and that's how he got noticed. And that's how he is in the position he is now. He just practiced a lot in normal games, got good at the game, and then done what he wanted to do, and now look where he's at. That's pretty inspiring, in my opinion.
I agree. That is cool. For all you people who want to be a pro gamer and don't really. I mean, you can do it. It's proof. You can do it without playing ranked. That guy did it.
Yeah.
You can get good at League only playing normals. I'm surprised. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to give the last 4 codes out in the next 60 seconds because I'm going to wait for Twitch to catch up with me. But within the next 60 seconds, I'm going to have the last 4 digits of the $25 code. Other than that, I think those are
all in all. It's been a great show.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had Keenan on. Hopefully we can have someone, like that next episode. Maybe a player or ex player or coach or someone like that. I'll be looking around. I'll be looking for someone else to bring onto the show with us because that was really fun. I like having a third person on.
Yeah,
but
keep in mind, guys, word of mouth is how the show is going to grow. Yeah. So if you guys think that we do a good job and you enjoy the content and you want to keep coming back on a week-to-week basis, make sure you tell your friends, be like, hey, these guys are pretty cool, come hang out, maybe win some RP. Then that person might tell someone, and that person tells someone, and it'll just continue to grow, and hopefully we can draw like a huge community that really is behind beyond the meta show. And you guys can say you helped us become something big. You guys can help us and say, hey, I was there first. Right. So we really appreciate your guys' support, and like I said, to all the familiar faces that came back from last week and are going to keep coming back, and we just thank you a lot. And congratulations to everyone who won RP and who is about to win this card. He's dishing out in chat.
And apparently
this is really fun.
Apparently 2 people won my Riot Point card, so congratulations to both of you who got my $25 card. No, I'm just kidding. If that was possible, that'd be awesome.
That's awesome.
But you know what? Anyway, it was an awesome episode. I had a lot of fun with Keenan. I had a lot of fun with you, Stomp, as always. And you know what? We'll be back next Thursday, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming live Beyond the Meta. Again, hopefully there will be another special guest. But for now, go to SoundCloud. I think I have the link here. Yeah. The episode will be immediately uploaded on SoundCloud. Y'all will be able to check it out again. It won't take that long. I will render the video.
If you want to hear yourself.
If you want to hear yourself, yeah, if you were on. I also will put up my YouTube So here's our YouTube. Go subscribe. It'll be on there too eventually. And make sure you favorite our Twitch channel so that you know when we go live next time. But you know what? Other than that, it was a great episode, and thanks guys for coming out. Oh, and like facebook.com/beyondthemeta also.
Facebook.
But yeah, guys, on behalf
I have
of
a
me
little
and
post-game
Stomp,
show with Ed, and then I'll be streaming some solo queue here in a little while if you guys want to check it out. So
yeah.
Thanks for coming. Thanks, Ed. Great show, man.
Yeah,
See you,
definitely.
everybody.
Thanks. On behalf of me and Stomp, guys, have a great night. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that stuff. Hope you get what you wanted. Hope the RP cards were a nice Christmas present. But thanks, guys, for coming out. It was great. Had fun.
A holly jolly Christmas. Something that time of year.